Welcome back, podcast listeners. You've heard us talk about Neal Shusterman a lot recently, so we thought it was about time that he got his own episode. Stay tuned for more Shusterman. What are you currently reading?
I have just finished, as in today, reading, oh no, what's it called? It's not in my eye line, so I can't remember. Hunting Prince Dracula by Kerry Maniscalco. Pronunciation, but I tried. Which is the second book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series.
I want to read that.
So I've wanted to read these books for years, but I've only literally just picked them up. So I think I read Stalking Jack the Ripper last year. And this is the second time I've had exactly this set of books out from the library, because last year when I read Stalking Jack the Ripper, I also got out the next two after it, but ran out of time and had to return them, even though I renewed them like twice. Sorry, library. So here we are again, and now I've gotten through another one, and I've got the next two. So the next one is, so number 3 is Escaping from Houdini, and then the fourth and final one is Capturing the Devil. So I've still got those two to go, but I don't know if I'm going to get through them, because looking at all the other books that I have to read. Anyway, so I finished that today, and I've just picked up and read like 4 chapters of The Near Witch by Victoria Schwab.
Oh, yes.
And this is my pick for the Bloggers Bookshelf Book Club theme for February, which is a book with a tree or a leaf on it.
Ooh, am I reading? No, I'm not. I don't think I have any trees or leaves anywhere coming up. That's fine.
Yeah, all the ones that I did have, well, the majority of the ones I did have were ones I'd already read. Also, The Near Witch is one that I think I vow to read this year. I'm pretty sure it's one. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get this done earlier in the year. And hey, it's got leaves on the front. So it checks out.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm up to chapter 4, but it's already kind of like fairy tale-ish, but with Victoria Schwab's spin on it, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, and it's not very big. It's only, standby, right? It's not even 300 pages. It's 282 pages.
Easy.
Yeah. So, couple of days, done.
Cool.
Yeah.
That it?
What about you?
That it? Yep. Cool.
Yeah, just one.
Just the one. I finished Clockwork Angel last night.
Yeah, you did. And did you like it or did you not like it?
No, I liked it. I did. I think.
Yeah, I was like, didn't you give it like 4 stars on Goodreads?
Yeah, I feel like.
Is it like a 3.5 though?
I liked it better than the other series, which you said you did as well.
Yeah.
The only thing that put me off 5 stars was the fact that it just kind of, all the characters seemed the same as the other series.
Yeah.
Like Tessa reminded me of Clary, and Will reminded me of Jace.
Yeah.
And Jem reminded me of Alec, and while Jasmine kind of is a bit different to what's her name? I know her name. Isabel. They were kind of like, I felt like the 4 of them were just like very similar characters.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, I felt like she was a bit not giving us enough new stuff. And just reusing characters. Yeah. But I did enjoy it, and it took me a while to get into it, which is why I haven't read it before, because I've read like the first chapter many times. But I finally got through it, and I did enjoy it, and I want to read the rest of them, but I can't because I have other things on my list to read.
Which is my problem with Hunting Prince Dracula. Like, I've got the other one, but also now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 publisher books that I need to read, including Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, which is a doorstop.
Technically only have 4 on my TBR shelf, including the one I'm about to start to read.
Oh, good.
And none of them are review copies.
Well done.
So I don't know if I just have forgotten to request some review copies, or I'm not getting them, or I've got through them all. I don't know. But yes, I'm also currently reading Find Your Artistic Voice by Lisa Conger.
Oh, yes.
Which is my like designy non-fiction-y book I'm also reading. But my fiction book I'm about to pick up after Clockwork Angel is 'Twas the Night Shift Before Christmas.
Yes.
Which is the wee novella for the This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay.
Adam Kay, yeah.
I know it's technically Christmas, so I should leave it till Christmas, but I bought it for my mum for Christmas and I'm borrowing it from her.
10 months early, it's fine.
Or 2 months late.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get into this because I think I gave the other one 4 stars. Only not 5 stars because it was made me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was really good, so I'm excited to get back into this.
Cool. Nice.
Into more of his work, which is actually really funny, so I totally recommend his stuff. But yes, that is what I'm currently reading.
Brilliant. I was just going to say, one of the books that I've got for from the publishers is The Fowl Twins by Owen Colfer in the Artemis Fowl series. But I haven't read the last 2 Artemis Fowl books. But I've got the last book, but I don't have the second to last book.
Oh, no.
This was like a drama because I was like, okay, well, I have to read the last 2 Artemis Fowl books in order to read the Fowl Twins.
Does it lead on?
Well...
Or is it like the Clockwork?
Because the twins in the book, the Fowl Twins, are Artemis's twin brothers. And so they're in the Artemis Fowl series. And so I feel like they're definitely more grown up in the last couple of books. Mm-hmm. But I haven't read them yet. So I feel like I'm going to miss out if I don't read them. So I was like, okay. And they're short, so I can do it. But it was just like a faff because I had to like wait for it at the library, get it from the library. Now I have to read it. And then I have to read book 8. And then I think it's 8. And then read the Fowl Twins. But I got that like last year. Like it's been out for a while now. But so that's what I have to read next after the Near Witch. So I've like literally got my TBR pile, but in a very specific order because I have to do it.
Yep.
In order to read all the other ones. Yeah. Anyway. Moving on to the actual episode.
Season finale with one of our favourite authors. Shusterman Stories Swan Song season.
Yes.
Summation, was it?
That was what it was. Yeah, it's a very long title.
Very long title, and we will shorten it for the thing, but it's great. We finally get to talk about Neal Shusterman's books, even though we're basically just talking about the one series.
So Dry by Neal Shusterman.
Yes.
And his son Jared.
Yeah, Jared, yeah.
Jared Shusterman and Neal Shusterman wrote this one. And this book came out, was it last year? 2019?
No, it was the year before.
The year before?
Because it was in Australia.
Oh, that's right. That's right, because the publishers sent it to me from Australia and it arrived in this packet. And it's like one of those it looks like a brown paper bag packet, kind of like a big envelope thing. But inside it was the book, Dry, and a bottle of water, and it had come all the way across from Australia, somehow managed to get to me without leaking. It would have been very ironic if my Dry book had arrived wet. So that was quite a fun thing.
That was very risky of them.
I know, that's what I thought too. Fun and quirky and cool and swore. A drink bottle full of water. Australian water. I don't know, does it taste different to New Zealand water?
Was it like a pump bottle kind of thing?
It wasn't like a real drink bottle. Yeah, it was just like a standard like a Fiji water bottle, but not Fiji water because we don't.
Yeah, so just like a standard.
But just like your
water.
Yeah, you go and you buy a 20 pack of screw top water.
I mean, they tried.
They did try, and I really appreciated the effort, and I'm impressed that it didn't pop across the Tasman.
Yeah. So what do you think of the book? Now it arrived dry.
Anyway, so Dry. Yeah, it did arrive dry. So Dry is about this drought, or the tap out, as everyone calls it. Basically, the water ends. There's no more water. People start fighting over the water that they can find. And it's about these 2 kids. What are their names?
Oh, I have no idea. Where is my Dry?
Hang on. Here we go. Alyssa and Garrett.
Yes.
And I think Alyssa is like the main character. And then there's like other kids and they kind of go and they have to go and find somebody. Oh, the parents. The parents go and they try and find water, but they can't find water. And then the kids are like, where are my parents? And so they go and find them anyway. So it's kind of like this like journey travel group of kids trying to find water. And it's just, it's only like 350 pages. It's not very long.
No, it's not too long.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it was a really interesting idea. And I feel like the Shustermans are good at that.
Good ideas.
Yeah.
Kind of like moral dilemma ideas. Even though water's not a moral dilemma. But there's like a...
Like, there's a lot of dystopian type stories out there. But they managed to come up with quite a few really, like, unique ideas that I haven't really seen a lot. Like, there's a lot of vampire novels and a lot of, like, the ones like The Hunger Games and Divergent, those
like
kind of
Fight
style.
for
But
Your
then
Life,
these are, like, very different.
Yeah. Yes. No, sorry, I'm just reading my notes. I think I gave it 4 stars. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I think one of the reasons I didn't give it 5 stars was that the point of view jumps around quite a bit in it from memory. And I think, according to my notes, it was a bit jarring. I can't remember, because I don't think the chapters were very long, were they? And I think they kind of jumped between a lot of characters quite quickly. And so the whole situation was quite jarring. But then I was like, I don't know if it's supposed to be jarring, in which case, well done.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, it was not like an easy, flowy book, which I guess is fine because lack of water.
No, I also gave it 4 stars, which I wrote in my review, apparently, was because I had just read Scythe.
Scythe.
Scythe. I'm going to have to... I don't know why I say Scythe. Like, I just read Scythe, so I kind of compared it to that, being the terrible person, and compared it to their other works.
Yeah, but you can't help it sometimes.
So I felt a bit let down, but it was still good, so I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah. It always makes me think with their books, like, what would that be like if that happened? Like, what would actually happen if the world ran out of water? And you know what, as well? You know how, like, was it the Waikato who's run out of water this week or last week? Or whenever you tweeted about it?
Waihi.
Yeah. Ran out of, like, water. Yeah, and we're like, oh no! It's begun!
I was like, oh my god, it's dry happening. And then they got, like, water an hour later or something.
And you know how many times our water has been turned off this week? 3 times.
Oh my god.
Because there's been like a malfunction, and like Auckland's supposed to be in like this water saving
I saw that
space, because like we're apparently in official drought because it hasn't rained in like 40 days or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Whereas we just have the opposite problem, and our wastewater pipes are exploding.
Oh no. Is that because of the heat?
No, they're just old pipes, and Wellington wasn't made for this many people.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know which one's worse, really.
No, that's true. Any more thoughts on Dry?
I don't think so. I think it was just more like, it was a good story, it just wasn't as good as Scythe, and I don't know if that was, not to put Jared under the pump or anything, but I don't know if that was because Jared was like co-writing.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I doubt it was. Like,
I always wonder how like co-writing works, like, because sometimes authors will do like co-writing, and one will write one character's point of view and the other will write the other. But when it's like one, I guess there were multiple points of view in Dry.
Maybe like Neal wrote the main character and then Jared took over all the...
Yeah, I don't know.
I
wonder how they did it.
Please tell us, Neal. I would have asked you if I was able to go to your meet and greet that I couldn't go to because it was on the other side of town and I was at work. Because unfortunately you did it awkwardly in the afternoon for kids.
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Just ignore your adult kids that have jobs.
The only other book that we've read, other than the Scythe series, which we'll talk about in a minute, is the Unwind series. And we've both read the first book. I read the first book twice. Because I read it back in the day, enjoyed it, but then for some reason didn't read the rest of them. So then I think I was on holiday one time and I had it on like my Kindle. I was like, okay, well, I'll read this again and then I'll keep going. But did I do that? No, I did not. So I've read the first book in the Unwind series twice. but none of the others.
What did you rate it?
I gave it 4 stars apparently, but that was like years ago, so I don't know if I can't remember if I kept that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. So it's about, here we go, this is synopsis. In a society where unwanted teens are salvaged for their body parts, 3 runaways fight the system that would unwind them. And so then it just follows Connor and Risa and Lev as they kind of battle their way through this dystopian life.
Oh, you rated it 4 stars, Erin rated it 5 stars, I rated it 1 star.
Why did you give it 1 star?
I don't know, this was back in 2014, I feel like I used like the 1 and 2 stars. Like nowadays I wouldn't.
Yeah. No.
I feel like I never give books under 3 stars, but this one I gave them 1.
Interesting. I wonder if you read it again if you'd think the same.
Maybe. I might try it, but I did finish it, so it obviously wasn't that bad, although I feel like at that point of my life, I needed to finish this book, no matter what.
Yeah.
kind of person. Which I've grown, and I now do not finish books. Because it's healthier for you.
Yeah, and it's a waste of time otherwise.
Don't waste your life reading terrible books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just really didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I would have read it at the similar time I read all of the Hunger Games and Divergent type books and like Uglies and Maze Runner and stuff like that. So I feel like it just didn't live up to the other ones.
Yeah, sure.
I might try again at some point.
One of the reasons apparently I didn't give it 5 stars, because maybe I was going to, it's written in 3rd person, but it's present tense.
Oh, that might have been.
So, I gave an example in my review. Like, Connor eats his breakfast quickly. It's not because he's hungry, but because he has somewhere else he wants to be. You know, so it's like 3rd person, but now. And I hate that. Like, it's like impersonal, but also like you're there.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
It feels like they're telling the story, but they're not.
Yeah, I think it's just 3rd person present tense is just awkward.
Like...
And it's uncomfortable.
Does it go into their thoughts if it's 3rd person?
I don't think so.
So, like, it's just telling the story as you would in 1st person, but getting rid of all the thoughts and the fun stuff?
I don't know. Stand by. Hang on. I'll get the book. Yeah, it's like even just opening it and reading little bits. Okay, now here we go. Page 97, where I opened the book. Blah, blah, blah. The steps down are steep and uneven. At first, Connor thinks Sonia will lead them down alone. So...
But, it makes you feel uncomfortable.
It's almost like Connor gets up wondering what could possibly be of use to them in the trunk. Risa isn't startled, just annoyed. They're all kind of...
Is that how Scythe that is written?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like it's like Citra does this, but she thinks this...
No, stand by. It's right here. I can just grab that one. Hang on. No, it's 3rd
different.
person. I mean, it's 3rd person past tense.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Told her, she doubted. They quickly learned that.
Yeah.
Physical training, however, was only half their regime. Yeah.
So it's 3rd person, but it's not yet.
Yeah, it's 3rd person. Yeah. But so Unwind, it's like you get their thoughts, but they all seem to be things that you could probably, like if you were watching somebody, uncreepily, if you were just like paying attention, like, you know how you can look at somebody and kind of know
vaguely what they're thinking.
Yeah. So it kind of feels like that kind of
nothing too
vibe.
detailed.
Like you can, nothing like too detailed, but like kind of surface level stuff. I don't know. Anyway, that was one of the reasons I like bumped it down a whole star, just because the tense was really weird. But I think overall, because I thought the concept was really cool of like unwinding kids. Not that that's a cool concept, but you know, like again, like you were saying, like it's unique and it's different, and it was in that, like, kind of dystopian heavy era where there was a lot of, like, you know, there was the fighting stuff, like Hunger Games and Divergent and stuff. Yeah. So apparently I liked it. And I remember liking it again when I reread it, but apparently not enough to keep reading the series. I don't know. Anyway. And we haven't read any of the other ones by Neal Shusterman, except for the Scythe series.
Downloaded the Challenger Deep audiobook about 3 times. That book. And all 3 times it has expired before I've started.
Has it?
Gosh.
I think that's the one.
Haven't got, like, round to it.
Yeah.
Or I've, like, started it and just didn't finish it and it didn't intrigue me or something. Audiobooks have got to be very specific for me to get stuck into them if I haven't read them before.
Yes. It's on my TBR list on Goodreads. And yeah, I always, for some reason, I always think of Erin. Shout out to Erin. Hi, Erin, our top fan. When I think of this book, and I don't know why. Maybe she recommended it one time, or maybe it was like the first book I ever saw from that Neal Shusterman had written.
Yeah.
So I always think of Erin. Maybe she posted it.
I'd laugh if she's never even read it.
Erin, let me know. Send me a message.
I'd laugh if she hasn't even read it. Oh no, she has read it.
If she hasn't even read it, she has read it. She gave it 4 stars. It's on her favourites.
So yeah, she would have recommended it at some point.
Thanks, Erin. We have not read it yet.
We'll get there. I've tried 3 times.
I haven't tried it all, but I will in the future.
I feel like it's a book I need to read the physical book, or like the ebook, like the words,
not an audio. It's not very long. The Kindle book's only 320 pages.
Okay, maybe I'll put that on my TBR after my 3 books left on there. All right.
Okay.
I'll cover Scythe.
Ooh. Do you want to try and explain it?
Well, I will try.
Sure, go.
So, how do you start? There's this dystopian world. Everybody is immortal, basically. But in order to die, you have to be killed by a scythe. And all these scythes are selected by other scythes and trained up. And we are introduced to our 2 main characters, Citra and Rowan, who are battling it out for 1 scythe ring.
Man, I can't even remember that was how the first one went. But yeah, good.
Yeah. That's what I quickly did at lunch today, was like look through the synopsis of each one.
Yeah. Like, remind me what happened back in the first book. Yeah.
Yeah, so the main part of the first, like, the main story of the first book is them doing doing the training with Scythe Faraday, and basically knowing that only one of them will be a scythe one day and the other will... I think they just get returned back to normal, don't they? Or do they get... Because it's not a usual thing, because technically I read it in the end that Citra had to kill Rome, but I don't know if that was just because of their weird, problematic existence.
Their weird, problematic existence. Good. I can't remember if the one who didn't get to be apprenticed to Scythe Faraday just went, like, home.
Yeah, because, like, obviously the apprentices of other scythes that don't have, like, a battle buddy, they still don't all become apprentices.
No, like, if they fail.
So if they fail, do they die or do they go back to... I can't remember, but...
I can't remember either.
Doesn't matter.
Happens.
Anyway.
But it doesn't, because this is the book,
Yeah. So, how spoilery are we doing this? Are we assuming that people have read it?
Yeah. Maybe just no, like, big spoilers. Nah, just do it. We can just spoiler alert. Just do it. Spoiler alert! Here we go. Hopefully you've read it.
Okay, well, basically it's just their journey of being trained up by Scythe Faraday, and then at one point Scythe Faraday is either commits suicide, is murdered, they don't really know, and then the 2, Citra and Rowan, go under another scythe to be trained, and they are also trying to solve the murder, or basically what happened to Scythe Faraday. And then it ends with one of them being crowned a scythe and getting the ring. Dun dun dun. And another big spoiler that I won't say just in case. Although, if I describe the other books, it will probably come up anyway, but oh well.
So if you've only read Scythe, and you haven't read the other two, maybe just pause the podcast, come back to us later.
I won't give away some major details.
Yeah.
I feel like, but yeah, you'll get the idea. Although technically, if you've read the first book, then most of what I will about to say won't matter. But
yeah, that's true.
I can't actually remember what happened in the Thunderhead. I read what happened at the end of the Thunderhead because it was the whole ordeal with Endura.
Yes. Yeah, I can't remember leading up to that.
Apart from, the only thing I remember is the training of Rowan's friend.
Rowan has a friend?
Yeah, what's his name? The partier,
Grayson?
the professional partier.
Grayson?
No, not Grayson.
The professional partier.
Oh, yes, the professional partier. I can't remember his name.
Yep, I've got the book in my hand.
I want to say Raymond, but it's not Raymond.
Raymond? I don't think it's Raymond.
It's definitely not. Tiger?
Tiger? Yeah, is it Tiger? Yeah, it is Tiger, but spelled with a Y instead of an I, because, you know, we're funky around here.
Yeah, there you go, Tiger. I got there in the end.
Well done.
Raymond.
Close enough. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens in the Thunderhead, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes, because then, does, what's his name, Goddard die in Scythe?
No.
Or is that at the start of the Thunderhead? No, it's in the end of Scythe, isn't it? When he's, like, burnt to the ground in the church.
Yes.
By Rowan.
Maybe.
Yeah, because then in the Thunderhead, what's her name?
Yeah,
Goddard's
no, he did, because here
woman.
I am on page 28 of the Thunderhead. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That happens.
So that's the whole tiger business. And then Citra is being trained by Scythe Curie.
Yeah.
Yep. And then after the whole Endura incident, we go on to the Toll, which is basically, if I tell you anything in there, it's going to give away spoilers.
Yeah. Yep, so let's not do that.
Basically, I really enjoyed the entire series.
Yes, basically the whole series is very good. And I remember reading Scythe and just, like, being so intrigued by the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thinking about it afterwards and all the time. And, like you were saying before, like, Neal Shusterman takes something that's normal, like water and dry, and then takes it away from you. In Scythe, it's like he takes life, or he takes death, and he takes death away from everybody. And the whole concept of, like, living longer, and the idea that you can, when you hit a certain age, you can turn the corner, she says with air quotations, and, like, go back to a younger version of yourself. So you still might be 70 in your brain, but you look 21, you know, and you can just kind of live into your 70 again and turn the corner again and keep going. That whole concept. And then with the Scythes, like, deciding who lives and who dies.
I also like the fact that he went into the detail of considering that people would have multiple families. And stuff like that. Like, if you're going to be living for, like, 200 years or so, you're probably going to have more than, like, 3 kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you may still be with the same, like, wife, but you probably had your first round of kids and you've raised them, and then you're like, oh, let's turn a corner and we'll start again. Yeah. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Really.
Which is crazy when you think of when someone dies. Is their immediate family, or is it like the whole family? Because that could be some big family trees to give immunity to. I feel like I've done a terrible job of explaining what the series is about.
No, I think it was good.
Like, talking about this immunity and stuff, I feel like if you haven't read it, you're just like, what are you on about?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, so if a person is chosen to be deathed, to be killed, they don't use the word killed, though, do they? I can't remember. Anyway, but if a Scythe chooses you, to be, like, the goner of the day, then your family gets immunity, right? For a year. And the Scythes all have rings, and if the family kisses the ring, then their DNA goes into the ring and into the system, and then other Scythes will know not to kill them for a year. Like, they've got a year to kind of grieve their family member. who has passed on unwillingly, probably.
Yeah. I think I just really enjoyed all the characters. Like Goddard is written in a way that almost makes you feel hate towards him more than Umbridge.
Yes.
Like, that was
That's
one of the main
something.
reasons I couldn't get through the toll as fast as I did, because I literally had to keep putting the book down because I was so annoyed at Goddard.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so annoyed that, like, this was happening, I had to put the book down, which is great character writing.
Yeah, definitely. All the characters are really different, I think, in this book, in this series as well. All very unique. And yeah, I think he writes that very well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all very unique, but they also have some element of relatability so that you do connect with most of the characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like
Having said that, it took me so long to read The Toll. Not just because of its size, like it is quite a hefty book.
Yeah, it's like 608 pages, I think it is.
Yeah, so, it's 630.
Oh. So where we got 8 from.
631 pages, which is a lot longer than the first one. But also I feel as the series goes on, more characters are added.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in The Toll for reasons I will not go into. That there are more characters, I think. But at the same time, I think there were too many that we were following, and it was a real slow chug for me to get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I gave Scythe 5 stars, Thunderhead 4 stars, and The Toll 3.5. So it kind of like, it gradually went down. Not because of the plot or the setting or the ideas or anything. I think by the time we got to The Toll,
it was a toll to get through.
It was literally a toll to get through. Yeah. And I understand why it was like that, and I think all the different characters at the end, it worked really, really well, and it was a really good, I quite liked the ending and how he brought all the characters kind of together. But up until kind of that last I don't know, 5th, even a last 6th, the last maybe 5 chapters or so. Yeah,
I really struggled because there were, as you'd expect from if you change point of views each chapter, there were overlapping stories, but they technically weren't all happening at the same time, which really confused me.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember messaging you at one point through it, and I'm like, I don't actually know what year I'm in.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Goes over 3 years, and at some points you can't tell where you are.
Yeah.
Because it flips through to the past, and it depends on what character you're reading.
Yeah.
To where in the storyline it is. And obviously it does all match up at the end, but there's points in the beginning and the middle, it doesn't overlap well, and it's hard to tell where you are.
Yeah.
That's what I found problematic about it.
Yes. And also, I'm just having a look at, the chapter titles. They don't have, there's nothing in the chapter titles to help you out time-wise.
No,
often
the only
books
way you
that,
can tell
is if you're really paying attention.
When you really pay attention, but when they mention the name of the year, which is really confusing because the name of the years in the world of Scythe are named after animals and stuff. So it's not oh yes, this is easy to tell because it was 1 year less than the one before.
Yes, all we know is that it was a different year.
All you know, it's a different year. You don't know whether it was the year in front or the year behind, or it was 5 years in the present. I don't know.
Yeah.
You understand after a while, but it's not clear when time changes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think books like that, while really well done, without that kind of, okay, we're in 2018 and now we're in 2019, okay, back to 2018 or whatever. Because it's jarring and because you've got the point of view changing all the time, I think it's hard to get into. And I think that was my other problem. I couldn't get into The Toll
it took me a while
as
to get into
quickly.
too.
With Scythe, like, I remember reading, like, the first couple of pages, and I was just like, what is this amazing thing that I found?
It's because Scythe and
This is
Thunderhead were all linear. Like,
Yeah.
it may have changed point of views, but it was all happening at the same time.
It's so
as
much easier to
you go
follow.
through the book.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which, yeah. I did mark them all 5 stars, but technically the toll was probably a 4. I was just in the hype of, oh my god, I finished the series.
Yeah. Overall, it was amazing. Imagine if you could do that on Goodreads, like, select the series, like, you've finished, and give it, like, an overall, or it did it for you, like, it took your...
Like, the average score, yeah.
Yeah, it took the average of the books, yeah.
Maybe you just do that yourself by finding the,
maybe.
book,
I don't want to
box
have to make
sets.
another spreadsheet.
And then marking the box sets.
Yeah, that's true.
If you really wanted to get into it. One thing I do want to mention is my disappointment at the colour of the covers.
I remember when the toll came out and we saw the cover and you're like, the colour is wrong!
My notes say do I need to reiterate my disappointment in the cover colours?
We'll post a picture of this on Instagram.
It's just,
so you can
it was red and then it was green. I was like, cool, different colour, fine. And then it's green again.
Yeah, but it's not the same green.
It
So like the
basically
Thunderhead
is.
is more like a deep, like it's like a teal, like a deep teal, and the toll is more like a dark Christmas.
Yeah, the Thunderhead is meant to be the turquoise of Anastasia's thing.
That's the other thing that's cool. Though.
Yeah, because that's what I would also had wrote is the coolness of the actual details in the cover. Like the cloaks on the Thunderhead is one's turquoise and one is black for Rowan.
Yeah.
Or Scythe Lucifer, if you've got that far.
Yeah.
And also the tuning fork on the toll.
Yes. Yeah. It is
And like
very
stuff
cool.
like that. It's like some things you don't actually notice are on the cover until you've read the book.
And you understand it, yeah.
You understand it, which is really cool. So they're cool covers. I just really wish that the purple on the cover of the toll was continued throughout the spine. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just very green. It just really upsets me. Like, they should all just be different shades of green if they're going to do that. Was it just that Scythe was going to be just a one novel and then...
I don't know.
So they made it red and then things happened and...
I don't know. Shout out to Kevin Tong, though, who was the designer. The designs are very good.
Oh, excellent.
The use of negative space, very well done. Very well done.
Yes. Literally, chef's kiss to you. Apart from the green.
Apart from the green. But if the whole thing had been, like, purple...
Apart from the green on the toll.
Then everything else is all
like,
good.
literally, that's my only problem with it. Everything else is perfect. Just, yes. Really needed a bit of purple on that spine. Not necessarily the cover. The cover's fine. It's just the spine.
Well, maybe you can have, like, Scythe and Thunderhead lined up properly, and then you can have the toll facing out.
You act like I have so much room on my bookshelves.
Yeah, I know. Who's got space for that?
I do not have space for that.
No, me either. So... Oh, the robe and the colour thing. When you become a Scythe, you get to choose the colour of your robes. And we've had this discussion before, I think. I can't remember in what episode it was, but we talked about what colour our robes would be if we were a Scythe. Not that we would ever want to be, because, life is precious. Don't kill people. But...
I mean, it's kill or be killed.
It's true.
The only way Scythes can die is killing themselves. How did we actually answer the question?
I don't remember. You don't remember what your answer was? From memory, I think you said turquoise.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I would say because it's like my favourite colour, so I just choose my favourite colour.
I think that's what you would say. Hence the colour of rants and reviews. It's quite like turquoisey.
I mean,
and
that's
it's great. Well,
green,
I love it too.
Honest.
Yeah, it's more green. But I think I would go for either like a some shade of purple or like yellow, but yellow can look manky, so it'd have to be like a good yellow.
Yeah.
Or like just a really nice
You could have
blue.
like a golden yellow.
Or could I have purple with, like, gold top stitching? Or are we getting too fancy now?
I don't know, you're almost adding
Look,
gems.
okay, I will make it myself, okay? Yeah, I'm not adding gems. I just want more than one colour.
I feel like mine would be, like, a tiny bit lighter, but basically the same tealy colour of P.S. I Love You, I Still Love You spine.
Stand by while I find it. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so like a slightly little bit lighter than that, but that kind of colour.
Nice, yeah.
Do you know what you would name yourself?
No. So the naming thing, podcast listeners, is that they pick, when they become a Scythe, they change their names. So Citra and or Rowan, depending on where you're up to in the book, and depending on who at the end of Scythe gets the ring. We don't know. Changes their name, right? But they change their names to prominent people in the past.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, historical people. So, like, Scythe Curie is after Marie Curie, and I can't remember who's Faraday.
Michael Faraday.
Michael Faraday, that's right.
The fun thing is, though, is that this is set in the future. So, like,
Yes.
people who are, like, famous now and recently also have Scythe named after them.
Like Beyonce. There's probably a Scythe Beyonce.
I think there actually is.
I think there is, yeah.
I think there was a Scythe Oprah as well.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
If
so
I'm
basically,
correct.
you could pick anybody today and all the past.
I don't know who I'd be.
Something like, I was just thinking writers, like Scythe Bronte or Austen or something. You know, like Jane
Ooh.
Austen, Charlotte Bronte. Like authors back in the day.
Scythe Austen.
Rowling. Can we do Rowling?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I be Scythe Schwab? She's one of my favourites.
You can.
She would love
You
this.
can.
Shout out to Victoria.
I feel like I'd choose it for the name, the cool name, instead of like the person, which is total opposite of what you're meant to do.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at all my books right now, and like,
Or like an artist, or
Yeah.
Most in the old books that I have, like the books that I love, are written by men. So like the Narnia series, C.S. Lewis, Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, Tolkien. You know,
I mean, C.S. Lewis. You could be a female C.S. Lewis.
you could. His first name's are Clive Staples though, so you know, might have to work on that.
That is a fun fact that I actually didn't know.
Yeah, fun fact.
I feel like I'd go for like, I don't know what I'd go for, but like maybe like a childhood author like Jacqueline Wilson.
Oh,
But then like I don't like the name
That's-
Jacqueline
That's a good
or
point.
Jackie.
Could you like shorten it to like Queenie or something?
Maybe.
Jacqueline.
Or just forever be known as Scythe Wilson. That's boring. No, I want some
Yes,
fun one.
obviously.
Could are you allowed people who weren't like literally a thing? Like, could we have like a god or a goddess?
Yes.
Like Scythe Persephone?
Yes. That would be awesome.
I feel like if that was
feel like you
allowed,
could.
I would do that. Like one of the goddesses.
Yeah. If that were allowed in this dystopian world that we don't live in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on that note, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I was just going to comment that both, so not Unwind, but Dry and the Scythe series are becoming TV shows or movies. So Dry is becoming a movie at some point, and Scythe, I believe, is maybe also a movie?
I feel like it was going to be a movie.
Gleaned! Gleaned is the word that I want. Gleaned. Okay, so they don't kill them or murder them or just get rid of them.
Eradicate them, they glean them.
Or eradicated, they get gleaned as appropriate with a scythe. Ah, that took us way too long to remember. Anyway, so I think Scythe is also becoming a movie as well, not a TV show, because this article says the big screen, and the big screen implies film.
I am both excited and worried.
As am I, because the book is, especially Scythe, is so amazing. I hope it's not going to be like Divergent in that I think it started well, but then it like majorly flopped.
Yeah, I can't stand those
And
movies.
again, I still haven't seen movie 4 or whatever it is, Detergent, as we've been through many times. And I refuse to call it anything other than detergent because who knows what it is.
Did we discuss that wasn't even like a movie? It was like a TV movie to TV.
Yeah. See, it so the whole thing just like kind of started with a bang, and I quite enjoyed the first movie from memory, and then kind of just fizzled and
I
died
feel like
out.
it was just the moment Trish cut her hair.
Yeah, I think maybe.
The start of the second movie, she cut her hair and it all went to flop.
Yeah. So I hope it's not going to be like that.
Yeah.
But Universal is doing Scythe.
It could be really cool.
Universal.
But
it doesn't say on this article who's doing Dry, but I think Dry...
If the movie's coming, you better start reading it.
Yeah. I think Dry has a better chance of being a better movie somehow.
Yeah, it just
Scythe.
point it towards the movie.
Just because it's a standalone and it's kind of... Yeah, you can see that being a movie, I think, rather than Scythe, which I think, if anything, would be better as a TV show because you've got so many characters.
Yeah.
To kind of deal with and to get the fullness of the book and the ideas.
I feel like a TV show would be good.
I think even if it was like a mini series, like a 10 or 12.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't go down the same route as the Shadowhunters thing.
That's true.
That was bad.
I mean, I still watched the whole thing. But, yeah, it wasn't great. But, like a good solid, like, hour-long episode, 10 episodes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, do the whole story, but do it really, really well, and then leave it. Like, walk away. Because I don't think they're going to be able to get... Unless they do a trilogy of movies... And again, I don't know if that would be something that would come to the movies.
I feel like they wouldn't do 3.
See?
I feel like the toll would end up getting split.
Okay, so they'd do 4. Like, frickin' everything else. Yeah. Still haven't seen the last Twilight film either. Precisely for this reason. Because they split it. And I was like, well, I'm bored now. Like, I'm not invested in this anymore because you took too long.
Did Harry Potter do it first? Like,
Harry Potter was fine because that's Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, but, like, it kind of started it all.
Well, maybe, yeah.
It's like, oh, Harry Potter did it, so now Twilight has to do it.
Like, The Hobbit should not have been 3 movies. Yeah.
I feel like I've watched all the Twilight films.
So stupid. You probably did because you're a normal person who would do that sort of thing. Unlike me, who was like, I don't even remember when that came out.
A while ago.
Knows?
I wasn't a normal person because I read the books after I watched the first film.
Oh, wow, no. See, I read Twilight before it was cool.
I feel like we just need to end the series there, in this season.
Not something that I want to brag.
I read Twilight before it was cool, end season.
Catch you guys later.
Until next time, happy reading.
Yeah. Don't read Twilight again, though. Or do if you thought it was fun.
I kind of want to read it again.
Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed Twilight back in the day. And then I think they got hyped. We're not supposed to be talking about Twilight, but here we are. They kind of got hyped, and everybody loved them. And I was like, well, cool. And then the movies came and destroyed everything. So there's that.
Maybe we can read the first one again in next season.
Oh, maybe a reread instead of our Harry Potter rereads. We can Harry Potter Twilight. What? We can reread Twilight. I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so tired. We need to stop.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Oh no, shut this thing down.
Okay.
Oh god.
Stop recording.
Bye. And that's a wrap. The end of season 3. Have you read any of Neal Shusterman's books? If you couldn't guess from this episode, we highly recommend them. Have a look on Goodreads and see which of his books sound like you. Give them a read in the break and then let us know what you thought of them. We would love to hear your opinions. We'll be having a bit of a break from Rants and Reviews before we kick off season 4. But in the meantime, you can find us on Twitter @RantsAndReviews and on Instagram @RantsAndReviewsPod. Until season 4, thank you so much for joining us and happy reading.